Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some team doubles gameplay. The score in the background is a 17-0, playing with my good friend Ubernik. We play each other on an extremely consistent basis. Ubernik is a pretty darn strong player. I feel like we have fairly similar mindsets when it comes to gaming, and we have a lot of fun together. I advise you guys go subscribe to him, and his link will be in the description. He's been playing a lot more Halo recently, and if you look at the YouTube community, it can be quite hard to find consistent Halo uploaders. And my best advice to you guys, if you want to see Halo thrive, Halo 4, you know, in terms of YouTube, I mean, me personally, when I watch FPS gaming content, I can no longer watch Call of Duty. I can no longer get any sort of thrill on Battlefield either. Personally, Halo is just about what I watch. All the other, you know, stuff I watch is just completely different games or not gaming content at all. In my personal opinion, I just find the others quite stale to watch, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way because a lot of you are consistent watchers of Halo content. So I would say, you know, if you see a Halo content uploader, try and be supportive of him. Try and, you know, give as much feedback in the comments, whether negative or positive, because it's the sort of stuff that keeps people going. I know for a fact that there's a lot of small-scale YouTubers that I know of who would be uploading a lot more if they just got a bit more support. And I'm not necessarily complaining about myself here. I feel like I get an extremely good amount of support from you guys, especially considering the size of my channel, which is quite small. You guys are active uploaders, but I'm just talking in terms of other YouTubers. You know, there's no BBK Dragoon right now, there's no Crouching Spartan right now, there's no Ditty, there's no Silly Solomon, there's very little Severed Void. So you got to hold on to these people that are still uploading, because it can be quite hard to motivate ourselves from time to time. And for me, you know, my personal standpoint, the audience is what keeps me ingrained into the Halo community. If it wasn't for that, I'm not even sure I'd be playing at this point. So I thank you for that, guys, and I advise you to do the same to any other channels you appreciate to lesser or greater extent. But today I had a topic that I wanted to discuss with you guys today, and it's regarding the latest Destiny trailer. I don't really like talking about Destiny too much because I feel like fans in the Halo community can get a little bit defensive when it comes to Destiny because it's made by Bungie. Obviously, people have a huge amount of respect for Bungie. I obviously love Bungie. I grew up with the Halo games, Halo Combat Evolved being one of my favorite games of all time, Halo 2 and Halo 3 being some of the best multiplayer games of all time, if not the best in my opinion. So, you know, I obviously come from that background, and Destiny, I should be 100% fan of that concept. I should be, you know, completely raising my arms and saying, yeah, Destiny, I'm totally on board, because, you know, they say that there's going to be elements from Borderlands taken a little bit with the loot fest and the way that the damage counters come above enemies when you shoot them and you're just going for random loot, and kind of, it's a little bit on the grindy side. I loved Borderlands 1 and 2 personally. I thought they were some of my favorite games of all time. I love the vibe that was in the Borderlands game, the whole atmosphere. I'm someone who can sit there grinding for loot all day. I personally find it really fun, especially in FPS style gameplay. You know, Borderlands, a lot of people said it was boring if you played it solo and you had to play with friends. I even played it solo and loved it. So I shouldn't be put off by that. I'm surprised there's so many Halo fans that aren't put off that, because a lot of Halo fans I speak to didn't like Borderlands at all, and I personally would say there's striking similarities between the two that really can't be ignored to some extent. But we'll just have to wait and see. You know, I even played Diablo 2 after, you know, that was as part of my early gaming career. I've always been a bit of a grinder. I personally love RPG gameplay, choosing a class, seeing that class out till the end. I can get extremely addicted to those kind of games. But what I'd say about Destiny is I just don't have a concrete enough idea about what the game is going to be. And I was hoping that this trailer would kind of dissipate my fears, or dissipate, like, you know, it would make things clearer, make things more concrete. And really, that didn't happen with today's trailer. I would say that it kind of showed similar gameplay to what we'd seen before. We got no evidence of what competitive multiplayer may have played out like. We got no more, you know, there's no real gameplay mechanics that wowed me in that trailer. There were no gameplay mechanics where I said, this is completely new, this is a new idea, this is interesting, this is fascinating, and this is a selling point. And from the beginning of the next gen, that is what I've been waiting for this entire time. I've been waiting for something to blow my mind. Too much when I watch new trailers coming out, I have to make the ideas myself. I almost have to do the legwork. I have to do the convincing on myself to say, well, you know, although there wasn't something new that I saw, this is an idea that maybe has potential if they took it a bit further. And I know that could be down to the fact that they're just holding back information as we get closer. You know, we're not even at E3 right now, so they're probably holding on to a lot of facts that we don't know about yet. But I still think it's the trailer's job to wow us and to, you know, give us the unexpected, to convince us rather than us trying to convince ourselves. And with Destiny, I'm just not exactly feeling that right now, and that's not something you guys wanted to hear. I can tell. I can hear the chatters of angry typists right now, completely furious at my idea to not get hyped about Destiny, because I've talked to so many people in the Halo community that are really on board with the idea, and I should be. You know, I love sci-fi, I love Mass Effect, I love Halo games, I've loved pretty much every sci-fi game I've touched, and I don't doubt that I'm going to enjoy Destiny. I don't doubt that I'm going to, you know, probably put it in my top 50 games or something like that. But my question is whether I think this is going to be one of the greatest games of all time, whether I think this is going to be a game changer, because honestly for me at this point, that's kind of what I expect. That's kind of what, you know, they should be aiming for. This is the start of a new gen, and this is Bungie's chance to convince everyone that they are the company to get behind. And these trailers don't have the same wow factor, the same amazement that I feel like I would get from an original Halo trailer. And that might be nostalgia speaking, that might be unfamiliarity with Destiny, you know. I'm talking about this with the hindsight of the end of the Halo games, of knowing just how much they had achieved and knowing, you know, the impact that these games have had on us. And Destiny, it's kind of a new beast to us. It's something that we don't quite understand yet. And that's probably the most exciting thing to me right now, is that I've still got a lot of discovery to do, and I've still got a lot of unearthing to do when it comes to Destiny's gameplay mechanics, when it comes to all the different elements of the gameplay, and whether it will be keeping back something that I just don't know. I would love to be proved wrong, and I'm sure a lot of you guys think that I'm going to be wrong, and that's great. You know, like I said at the beginning of the video, I dislike, or I might have said that in a video I recorded and then didn't upload because I'm an idiot. But regardless, you know, I don't like it when people are cynical about games coming out. I didn't like how cynical people were being towards me with Titanfall, because it's a new experience and it's something to get invested in. It's, you know, as a gamer, you don't want to be sitting there wallowing in the sewers, wallowing in your own depression about how great games were 10 years ago and not giving any new game a chance. And don't get me wrong, I will be giving Destiny a chance. I'll be going in, you know, head first, trying to immerse myself in what Destiny has to offer, go into the different worlds, and pretty much going crazy. And this is one of the things I would say as my closing statement. I think my reservations come down to the fact of, not that I won't enjoy it, I think I will enjoy it to a greater or lesser extent. I know that I'm going to take some enjoyment, and I reckon I'll even take more enjoyment than the average person will. My worry is that people are hyping this game up to be something that it isn't. You know, never in my history as a gamer have I seen an RPG that is similar to a Borderlands mechanics. You know, Borderlands games, they are always solid games for what they are. They always provide a fun experience. But they're never greatest games of all time. They're just a good bit of fun. A good bit of loot gathering, a good bit of loot collecting, and messing around with friends, and a really great time in an atmospheric and immersive world. That sounds like a lot of fun. However, I do worry that people are expecting the next Halo competitive title. I do worry that people are expecting, you know, the FPS of the future in terms of its mechanics. And from what I've seen of the trailers, there has been nothing to convince me that those mechanics are anything new and interesting. The powers look like biotic powers from Mass Effect. The shooting looks like aim down sights, typical, you know, trigger finger, Call of Duty-esque, Borderlands-esque mechanics. And I haven't seen a single gun, a single power that looks like something completely new, that has its own skill curve, that has its own depth to it. And like I said, these are early days, and I could be jumping the gun way too much. But what I worry about is when this game comes out, it was overhyped for different reasons, for the wrong reasons. And even though it will be a good game, everyone will abandon ship like they did with Titanfall 2 days in. And, you know, what I've noticed recently more than ever is that lack of hype can kill a game, and overhype can kill a game. Hype is very significant to a game's life cycle and to a game's potential for success. And I worry that Destiny is just, people getting the wrong wind of what Destiny is. And maybe they'll show a multiplayer trailer later down the line that completely proves me wrong. And it is, a competitive arena experience that the Halo fans were looking for. And yet they still have that casual balance of fun, entertainment, which you kind of got a bit of in Halo Reach through its, firefight, through its campaign, and through its, long list of options, the Forge options, etc. That's kind of what people want. A jack of all trades that does it all. But I worry that Destiny won't do it all. I worry that Destiny will be an extremely fun, solid RPG experience in an MMO landscape. And that's not a bad thing to me. But I don't think it's what people are looking for. And I don't think it's going to be an absolute game changer. Maybe I'm wrong. And, feel free to sound off in the comments. Fire those triggers at me. Point those aimers at me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Say whatever you feel like. I'm just speaking my mind right now because I don't want to lie about it. I don't want to pretend that I'm super, super hyped for Destiny when really I'm actually quite reserved at the moment and kind of waiting for more information and more trailers. That's just where I'm at right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. I've been Modest Major. Peace out.